how do you combat such ignorance? How do you go against someone who is giving the people what they want to hear instead of what they need to hear? And I'm going to tell you in a second here. How do you combat someone who is capitalizing off of people's desperation, off of their ignorance, off of their hatred? How do you do that? All right, guys. So for this next video, we're going to talk about Michael Knowles. Now, Michael knows not a damn thing, okay? In my opinion, he doesn't know nothing. The only thing he is good for, the only thing that he's good at is being a grifter. That's it. And this video that I'm about to share with you guys is sad, okay? Because when I see this video, I see somebody standing on stage with an expensive suit on. I'm pretty sure that blazer and that shirt that he's wearing it costs a nice penny, okay? He's standing on stage and there's hundreds of, maybe thousands of people who are hurting, people who are confused, a lot of young people who are just going through the emotion. And he's sitting on that stage knowing that he is grifting the hell out of them. He is telling them everything that they want to hear, anything that's going to tickle their ears, he is going to tell them. He doesn't want to tell them, you know, hey, the harsh truth. He doesn't want to challenge them. He doesn't want to build them up to be better individuals in this big world we live in. He doesn't want to do that. What he's doing is doing what grifters do best. Let's take a listen.
All right, last question.
Hello, sir. I have a question in regards to careers. I heard in California there was a bill that was waiting to be passed that could take the license away from doctors that would spread misinformation about the vaccine and potentially imprison them. I'm looking to go into medical school in this next year, and I'm a very diehard conservative, and if I believe that my patient shouldn't have a certain medical procedure, I would tell them so. My question is, for people that suffer for and might lose their careers or their license or their livelihoods because of what they believe in, how are we gonna move forward and still make a living?
When you say that they could be punished for spreading misinformation about the vaccine, I assume what you mean is that misinformation that the vaccine is totally safe, right? That kind of misinformation, or maybe the misinformation that the vaccine is very effective, or I don't know. There's a lot of misinformation.
Okay, and I'm going to be interjecting on this because that's, well, first off, it's my channel, all right? Damn, I can do what I want, all right? First off, there's a lot of misconceptions when it came to COVID-19 and the vaccinations. To make it as simple as possible, because this is not a vaccination video, we're not going to spend hours talking about that. To make this simple, science and people who study this stuff, whatever they decide at that moment is not final. Science is never a final answer. Science progresses. Science will always be in search of new information that could give them a different outcome, a different answer, or to whatever that they're trying to study. Science is always evolving into something different. That's what science is. So when it comes to the vaccines, it was a pandemic. It hit hard. It hit quick. They had to come up with something. They came up with something. A lot of people, as myself, was a little like, hey, I'm not sure about that, which is cool. That's my opinion. That's my stance. But to think that, you know, if someone said, all right, this is 100% guaranteed is not going to, is 100% going to prevent you from getting sick, and someone gets sick, does that mean it's a lie? Well, hey, scientists, you're going to have to go back, read some numbers, do some things, get something out there that's going to be effective. No one ever thinks that something is going to be 100% curable. No medicine is 100% guaranteed. It'd be a lot of pharmacies out there who will be bankrupt, because we know medicine, vaccines is never 100% going to solve your issues. We know that. So what Michael is saying here, that's not misinformation. No one said that it's a guarantee 100%. Like, no one never said that. We're talking about misinformation, like the vaccines is going to mutate your DNA and you're going to turn into some sort of frog person. I actually heard that from a coworker, and he was serious about that. That's the kind of misinformation we're talking about. Michael Knowles, I promise.
That has been spread about the vaccine. It's all been spread by Dr. Fauci and Joe Biden. Maybe they will be punished in the state of California, probably.
And side note, Fauci was really in a spotlight under Trump. Biden was nowhere to be found during that time. And people are cheering for that. Were they literally just born a couple weeks ago? Come on.
Probably not. Probably not. What do you do?
Come on, tell her something.
What we're talking about is the very theme of my speech. What we're talking about is the regime that governs what we can say, how we can say it, the standards and norms in our society. We're not going to get rid of all of those norms and limits. That's never happened in any society ever. So what we have to do is engage in the political process. If there are prudent regulations against scientific misinformation, then we better be damn well sure that it's actually against misinformation and not true information, which means that California Republicans need to go in there, win office, change the rules, fire the bad guys. And what can you do right now? You can vote with your feet. And you can, as I did, I lived in California. I fled the reign of Mussolini. I got out of there. There was a Michael-shaped hole in the wall. I got out so fast. I went to the free state of Tennessee. I breathed the free air again. It was beautiful.
Man, he's telling them everything they want to hear. The great state of Tennessee, the fresh air, like. How do you combat such ignorance? How do you go against someone who is giving the people what they want to hear instead of what they need to hear? And I'm going to tell you in a second here. How do you combat someone who is capitalizing off of people's desperation, off of their ignorance, off of their hatred? How do you do that? What Michael should have said, and this would have maybe had some booze, maybe he would have probably lost a few dollars, and they probably wouldn't have invited him to the next conference. But what a reasonable, respectable, honest person would say is, don't turn to me. Don't turn to any political personnel. Don't turn to your friends. Don't turn to Facebook. Don't turn to YouTube. Go out there, read, do some real research. Go beyond Google, okay? Google can't answer every single question. Do the research. If, like the young lady, she said, she wants to be a doctor and she wants to help people, and if she feels that the vaccines is not going to help people, that's a genuine concern. Do the studying yourself. And the fact that she's even at that conference lets me know that she's not really into that. Do the hard reading, the research. Listen to the actual scientists who put out these sources and these documents on what they're talking about, or whatever vaccines that they're coming up with. Read that. Understand it. That's what you have to do. Why would you turn to someone who's in politics, whose only job, essentially, I mean, it's not their real job, but this is kind of what it turned it into, a spectacle. They're going to use this and weaponize it to get votes. That's what he just did. Go out there and vote for, X, Y, and Z. It's what? Why? So they can fire the bad guys? Oh, like Trump was supposed to drain the swamp, right? But when Trump got into office, he added more swamp creatures into the swamp. He didn't change anything. His 4 years didn't change anything for the better. So why would you vote for a politician who I'm pretty sure doesn't have a degree in any kind of science? Nowadays, the only thing that makes you a politician is how much money you got. Why vote for a politician when it comes to health? Come on, Michael. What you should have told her was, you're inspiring to be a doctor or a nurse. I need you to get in those books, learn this stuff like the back of your hand. And if it's something that you feel and you understand that's not good for people, give us the scientific facts. I want the facts, not some conspiracy theories, not something that, happened to one person in some foreign country. And it's like, no, that's not what I want. I want truthful information that was understood from the source. He would lose his job if he said something like that. But no, his job is to tickle people's ears, tell them what they want to know. The Democrats are bad. Joe Biden and Fauci, they're the devils. What you need to do is vote Republican, get Republicans in office, and we're going to save you. We're going to make sure everything that you want and need, we're going to do it for you. Just like a grifter. That's simple. All right, let's go ahead and get into the next one.